In this video, I'm going to be going through trigonometric ratios in right-angled triangles. So we've already seen what the hypotenuse is. Remember, opposite the right angle and also the longest side in the right-angled triangle. Then you can see in this question we have an angle, which is here, and then the opposite side of the angle is just called the opposite. As you can see, it's opposite our angle. And then finally we're left then with the adjacent, which is then next to our angle. So being able to label a triangle is so important for answering these questions. Sorry, oh crap. Now, there's 3 trigonometric ratios which we need to know for right angled triangles. There's sine, cos, and tan. And what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be finding out how to find missing angles in these right angled triangles. And to do this, you need to learn SOH CAH TOA. Now, this is just a way of remembering these ratios, because the sine of the angle means the opposite over the hypotenuse. You can see how this S is the first letter there. So it's sine of the angle equals then the opposite over hypotenuse, O over H. Next one then is cos. So you can see then it's a C. So the cos of the angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, A over H. And then lastly then we have T for tan, and then tan of the angle equals the opposite over the adjacent. So O over A. Okay, this will make more sense when we have a look at a few examples. So, our ratios. So, in this question here, we need to find the angle X. Now, if you look over here in the orange box, there's a method which will help us answer these questions. At the top there, I've said angles use shift in Casio calculators, or second function then, that's if you have a sharp calculator. So you'll see why we have to use that now in a minute. Now the first thing I'm going to do is label the sides. First of all, 10 is our hypotenuse, because it's opposite the right angle. Then the angle here is X, so drawing a line straight across, that means 5 is our opposite. And then we're left over then with the adjacent. Now that's step 1. Step 2, I'm writing down SOH CAH TOA. Now, let's see which side I have no information about. I have something for the opposite, I have something then for the hypotenuse, I have nothing from my adjacent. So then, anywhere I see an A in SOH CAH TOA, I put a line through it, because I'm not using my adjacent. So I'm using SOH. Now remember, sine of our angle, this question, our angle is X, so sine of X is equal to O over H, so we're opposite over our hypotenuse. So sine of X equals 5 over 10. Now to find what X is, X now equals, so the sine is coming to the other side, so it's going to be sine inverse 5 over 10. Now, what the sine inverse means, that's now when we press the shift or the second function. So, if you press shift and then sine 5 over 10, in Casio calculators you may have to close a bracket with this, and that then is 30 degrees. So I found out that X is 30 degrees. Now make sure your calculators are set to degree mode for this. If they're set to radians, that will completely mess up the answers. So make sure your calculators are set to degree mode. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Okay, so in this one again we need to find the angle X. So the first things first, let's label our side. So we have our hypotenuse, you can see it's opposite the right angle. Our angle is x, so that means this side is the opposite, and then we're left with the adjacent. Now, right SOH CAH TOA. Now in this question here, I can see I have no information for the opposite. So anywhere I see an O, line through it. So in this question it's CAH. I remember the C stands for cos, so cos of our angle. This question, the angle is x, so cos x is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So cos x equals 24 over 36. So now x is equal to inverse cos 24 over 36. So using my calculator now, I'm pressing, so shift, or second function, shift cos 24 over 36, and that gets me 48.189, so we'll say 48.2 degrees. And that's that question. Okay, we'll do one more. So in this question now, it says calculate the angle that the diagonal makes with the long side of a rectangle which measures 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters. Okay, so let's draw this out. Okay, so there's my rectangle. There's the length of 10, width of 6, and then we need to calculate the angle that the diagonal, so let's draw that in, makes with the long side of a rectangle. So the diagonal is in red, the long side you can see is 10, so then I'm going to put an x here. So I'm going to have a right angle then at my corner. So now you can see I have a triangle, it's a right angle triangle. Let's label the sides. So opposite the right angle is my hypotenuse, opposite my angle is my opposite, and I'm left then with the adjacent. Let's write SOH CAH TOA. So in this question I have nothing for the hypotenuse, so straight away they're gone because there's a h there. That leaves me with TOA, which is tan. So tan of my angle, so tan of x is equal to O over A, opposite over adjacent. So tan of x is equal to 6 over 10. So x is equal to tan inverse 6 over 10. So then we're pressing second function or shift, tan 6 over 10, and that's going to be 30.96 and 37. So I tell you what, we'll round this to 2 decimal places, so it'll be 30.96 degrees.